Let's play a game where we predict which Chapter 5 Season 1 items will be kept or vaulted for Season 2. Some of these items have sparked intense debates, while others are essential for zero build gameplay. Also, I'll predict that you will agree with me on at least 12 of the next 23 items. At the end, just let me know how many of these items we were on the same page about. Let's start with the Frenzy Auto Shotgun and the Hammer Pump. This one was a very hot topic over the course of Season 1. When it comes down to zero build, it was very clear that the meta favored the Auto Shotgun. And let's be real, it wasn't very close. The Hammer Pump is nowhere as effective as the Frenzy Shotgun, mostly because it's slower and not as precise. Have you realized that this meta was truly aided by the majority of the community? Personally, I don't mind it at all, but the argument commonly given is that the Auto Frenzy Shotgun doesn't require any kind of skill to use. It's pretty obvious the community is more comfortable with a pump meta, as it was often the case over the years. With that being said, I'm going to make a bold prediction by saying the Auto Frenzy will be kept while the Hammer Pump will get vaulted. I just have a feeling we will get a brand new version of the pump that can compete truly with the Frenzy. Now, the Reaper Sniper Rifle. Oh boy, talking about another controversial weapon right here. Without any question, we can declare this gun as overpowered, and it actually forced the sniping meta during Chapter 5 Season 1. A very large portion of the community absolutely hated this, and I believe they would be so happy if it gets vaulted. To be honest, I don't think this is likely. I believe what's most likely to happen is that it will get nerfed and that we will get another sniper rifle. As it is the case with most seasons, we will have the option of 2 sniper rifles in Season 2. So that's why I think the Reaper Sniper Rifle goes to keep. It's time to debate for the Assault Rifles. By the way, I made a full breakdown and analysis of the 3 ARs we have in the game. If you want to see it after this video, the link is at the top right corner. I'll start with the Striker AR and mention that it is the most commonly used out of the 3. Now, if you remember correctly, in Chapter 4, the Havoc Assault Rifle was the one being kept every season. As you noticed, it wasn't the best rifle that was being kept around. But yes, the Striker AR is great, but compared to the Nemesis, it's very close. If I had to take a guess, I would say the Nemesis, being the most complete option, is the assault rifle that will be kept for Season 2. With that logic, I'm going to predict the Striker will be vaulted just like the Enforcer AR. And I have a strong feeling that we will get a brand new AR to utilize in Season 2. It's time to analyze the Hyper SMG. Not only it is underused and not talked about very much, but it's also underperforming compared to the Thunderburst SMG. Because of these facts, I have a tough time seeing this weapon return. So I think the Hyper SMG will get vaulted. If there's one weapon that didn't create too much buzz at the beginning of the season, it's definitely the Thunderburst SMG. Over the course of Season 1, many players started using it more, even to the point that pro players began using it a lot. It's not uncommon to see a player use this gun instead of an assault rifle. Typically, one weapon of each category stays in the next season. So my gut feeling tells me the only SMG that will stay for next season is this one. Next, we have the Ranger Pistol. It's safe to say that typically pistols have a tendency to stay every season. Also, this is not the most used weapon out there. Plus, the community doesn't have a strong negative opinion towards it. In fact, some players surprisingly use it instead of an AR. I expect the Ranger Pistol to stay in Chapter 5 Season 2, so we're gonna say keep for this one. It's the beloved Ballistic Shield's turns to get reviewed now. Of course, I'm being sarcastic here, and I don't think I've come across a single player actually saying that they used and enjoyed this item, especially in zero build. You're in the middle of a 50-50 fight, and all of a sudden you realize the opponent is blocking your shots with a shield? I mean, what's going on? Even after the nerf, this item is not liked at all in the player base, and I truly expect this one to get vaulted. If not, I know for a fact many people will be quite mad. If there's one item that I didn't like at all when the season started, it's definitely the Grapple Blade. Over the course of the season, it definitely grew on me, but I still feel like it's one of the worst mobility items we ever had. Personally, I would choose the Spider-Man web shooters, the Grappler, or the Grapple Glove a million times compared to this one. Of course, I expect some of you guys to disagree with me, and it's all good. In fact, don't hesitate to let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree with some of these predictions, by the way. My head still believes the Grapple Blade is probably a staple of Chapter 5, so I think it's gonna stay for Season 2. When it comes to collabs, typically the items that emerge from it are getting vaulted the next season. This is why I fully expect the Mythic Cardboard Box and the EMP Stealth Camo device from Solid Snake to be vaulted. And yes, the same logic will be applied to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab. So all 4 of its mythics will not be there for next season. That doesn't mean they will never come back, but it's safe to assume they won't be there when Season 2 starts. Now, let's talk about 2 consumable healing items, Pizza Party and the Flowberry Fizz. I think predictions for these 2 are quite easy actually, because we can see a pattern developing with the Pizza Party. Also, I don't think the Fizz was brought in only for one season. It seems to be a very important item for Chapter 5, just as important as Slap Juice was for Chapter 4. To me, it's very clear that Flowberry Fizz and its very sus animation will be kept, while I don't believe it will be the same for Pizza Party. Typically, this item gets unvaulted during collabs or at the end of seasons. I don't think it ever was available at the start of any season, but I could be wrong. Pizza Party will get vaulted in my opinion. Several other items seem likely to be kept for the next season, specifically shockwave grenades, porta bunkers, and shieldbreaker EMPs. The current pattern suggests that these items were tailored for zero build, and it will be surprising if they were vaulted at any point. If they are, they will probably be unvaulted shortly after the season launch. For example, the bunkers were absent at the launch of Chapter 5 Season 1, but only for 4 days. Because the cluster clinger is currently the only throwable explosive in the game, I fully expect this item to return for Season 2. We can compare it to the normal grenades we had in previous chapters, which were carried over every season or most of them. However, I don't think the same logic can be applied to the following items: the business turret, the lock-on pistol, the anvil launcher, and the crash pad junior. These were all items that were unvaulted in the middle of the season, and I believe it was because of Season 1's underground theme. It will be very interesting to see if medallions will be kept. I'm also wondering if augments will make a return for Season 2, and I truly hope they do. Will we get hit scan weapons for Season 2? Will weapon attachments be carried over too? Let me know what you think in the comments. In the meantime, make sure to watch the next video you see on screen, as it's likely the one you will enjoy watching the most from my channel. See you in the next one.